Welcome to my recap from a chat with Severlin on the Twitch stream on the Lotro stream channel on February 19th. In this video, I will talk about all the important stuff that was talked about in this chat. So let's get to it. Starting with some general news. They stated that they want to release something cool every 13 weeks. They had data that shows that 13 weeks is about the time where players lose interest in content, so their aim is to release something cool to do every 13 weeks or so, which would mean that every 3 months or so we would get like a somewhat big update, like a quest pack or a new raid or expansion or something. They also mentioned the producer's letter will be released sometime in March. They still have to go through translation and some other confirmation stuff, so it takes a while. One thing that I think was cool that they actually talked about was the War of the Three Peaks, and they kind of reviewed especially the pricing on this, and they agreed that VIP players need more value. If you're VIP, why should you pay the same as non-VIP for something? Which makes sense. They also talked about the more expensive bundles not having enough value. You get some relics and some cool pets and some mounts from those expensive bundles, but they did say that they think that they don't have enough value for that price, which I agree with. And they said that in the future they will try to look at this better and get some better value if you pay more for an expansion or a mini expansion. There was also some talk about level caps, and they did not want to confirm a level cap increase. They did confirm, however, that the next level cap will not be 135. And I've always suspected that next level cap with Gundabad will be 140. That's what I think will happen. They also talked about the option of doing a stat squish for Lotro. And a stat squish would mean toning down everything, maybe even the levels. Say you cut everything in half, you would have to balance everything. So it would require a lot. You would have to rebalance so many things. So my guess is we won't see this before Gundabad, maybe sometimes after that. It would make sense that we don't have tanks with over 1 million morale. Stats are getting really high. So I would really like to see a stat squish come to Lotro. But my guess is Gundabad will be 140. That's why those scrum rewards are 135, so we can't be using those at 140. That's my guess. They also mentioned class balance, and like they always say, it's always an ongoing thing. Instead of tackling one class at a time, they always like to make small tweaks with every class. And it also looks like the Guardian is the next class that's gonna get like a big update to them. At least they talked a bit about that. They also mentioned that they wanna address the tank balance and not have Captain be so good that they are right now. And obviously, since they're making the confirmed new brawler class, that's going to take a lot of resources, which makes class work on other classes lose some resources until the brawler is done. So until the brawler class is like polished and finalized, I don't expect to see a lot of class work. But after that, they can probably resume working on classes in general. But for now, obviously a new class requires a lot of attention and work. They mentioned Kinships briefly. I seem to recall a producer's letter that said that kinship upgrades were coming, but apparently this has been pushed, postponed. They do want to get to revamping / improving the kinships. Will be nice with some new ranks or more customization for a kin. But the priority for this is after Gundabad, after class balancing, and after the LI revamp. There wasn't too much talk about races. They mentioned River Hobbits again. Nothing confirmed, but maybe in 2022. That's gonna be like after all the other plans that they have right now. So I wouldn't expect to see River Hobbits anytime soon. They also mentioned that they're aware of the animation speed differences, like for Champion, Dwarf is much slower than, for example, Man or High Elf. There's a lot of coding issues, and if they touch this, then bad things might happen. But they're aware of it, and they will look at it when they have time to get to it. They also talked about PvMP, and PvMP seemed to be neglected for a while, but recently we've seen some balancing work, and there's more resources working on PvMP, which is good. And what they said is a modest amount of changes should be coming. And I wasn't quite sure about this last point. They did mention something about more options for, I think I heard faces and hair, like customization. I know I wrote optimization here, but to me it sounded like they want to bring more options when you're creating your creep class. Different, you can make them look different. That's what I got from that, which is kind of cool. And one big thing that a lot of players are waiting for is the legendary items revamp. First off, they talked about the Scrolls of Empowerment changes. How in like older areas you can get scrolls that are max level and mid level. They changed a lot of stuff around. They said that they do want the main way to earn these scrolls to be endgame, which is max level stuff, which makes sense. So you don't have to go back and do old content to grind for these. And they actually apologized for the slow work on getting to the LI revamp. They admitted to postponing it twice already. But this is something that's still in the works. They want to do this, they want to revamp this. Hopefully within a year is what the time frame that they set. And it seems like they want to scrap the non-imbued and imbued system and just have one system from level 50 and onwards. So hopefully we'll see this within a year. Hopefully it doesn't get postponed, because this is something a lot of players want. Next update is update 29 Wildwood. We've already seen one beta from this, and they said that the next beta will most likely be this upcoming week. And as we know, Wildwood is going to be the next landscape area in the northwest of Brelands. There will be some missions for endgame. There will be 2 new 3-mans. But the quest in that area is mainly for mid-level content, ranging from level 45 to 50. I'm sure a lot of 130 players will go back just to do those quests, to experience the zone. And I expect it to be quite crowded in that area in the beginning. But mainly for endgame, this update will give missions and a couple of instances. And obviously they mentioned that they enjoy filling out the map, and Wildwood was a gap in the map. Hopefully in the future we'll see more of these small little zones being created. So I'm sure everyone would like a more filled out Middle Earth, make the world feel more realistic. This quest pack will be a regular quest pack, free to VIP. If you're VIP, you won't have to pay. Of course, it'll be available for Lotro points for free-to-play players, and they estimated release time to be sometime in March. Another exciting thing that got mentioned is update 30, which will be the update after Wildwood. This will probably be sometime close to summer, is my guess. And this content will be targeted towards endgame. And I do believe in the last chat they had, a new zone was mentioned. like a zone before Gundabad, and I believe this update 30 will bring the new zone. They also confirmed a new small raid with this update, which is pretty nice. So I would expect a raid similar to Amdan Damul that we have right now. And that's kind of cool that we're getting another raid before Gundabad. Gives players something to do before that big expansion hits. And this content pack is also going to be like update 29, free to VIP. At least that's what they said, and that's what I'm expecting. But I'm quite happy that we're getting a new raid. It'd be nice. And this update is also called The Blood of Azog. When Severlin mentioned this update, he actually said the name of it, even though Cordovan later was like, oh, we haven't announced anything, blah blah blah. But he did say the blood of, and it sounded like he said Azog to me. And in Lotro, Azog is the father of Bolg, and Bolg is the father of Gorgar and Mazog from the Moria storyline. And we all know Mazog died in the Mirkwood storyline, so Gorgar is probably gonna be the enemy in the raid. Because I believe Gorgar the Ruthless is the blood of Azog. That's who they're talking about here. Or maybe he's just part of the storyline in that new zone. And finally, some Gundabad news. Some of this stuff we already know. Release will be later this year after summer, so sometime in fall is my guess. And Gundabad will obviously continue the main storyline. It'll be a big expansion. And they are planning to have Brawler ready for pre-order for this expansion. So people can pre-order Gundabad and start playing Brawler before the release. And if level cap is going to be 140, then there's plans for a 130 Valor item, which makes sense. Personally, I'm hoping for a stat squish. It would be really awesome if they did that with Gundabad, but I'm not getting my hopes up because that's a lot of work. That's the end of my video. Leave a like, subscribe to my channel, join my Discord, link down in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one.